Hi everyone, I'm super excited today. We're going to be learning Svelte, and it's such a popular library at the moment, and I see loads of people using it. I had a quick look this morning. It does look super exciting, and I have an awesome guest with us today. Scott, please give yourself an intro, tell us what you do, and I'm going to drop your YouTube channel in the chat while you do that.
Hey Eddie, hey everyone. Thanks for having me on the show, Eddie. And yeah, super excited to be here talking about Svelte. So my name is Scott. I'm a developer advocate for GraphCMS. If you can't tell, it's a GraphCMS based, it's a GraphQL CMS. And yeah, just super happy to be here. I'm working a lot in the Svelte side of things. So just super happy to be on here and to talk about it. If you can't tell by me, just being super excited, by the way.
No, that's going to be awesome. I mean, you know, we have people who use Vue, React. I see we've got loads of the regulars in the chat. So Shazar, I can't even say the name now, not a good start to the stream. Sejal, thank you so much for joining. Mohammed, Carl, Simran, Sanjay, awesome to have you all here. And I know people use different tools from React, Angular, and so forth. And people who have been following me for a while know I've done this series where we'll be doing CRUD in various ones. I think we started off first with Next, then we did React, and then we did Angular with Nick 1 or 2 weeks ago. So now we're doing Svelte. So it's just super exciting to see how they all compare. I actually did a tweet today, and I compared a loop in Svelte, React, and Angular. It's interesting to see when I was writing it. I was like, you know what? Okay, I've never actually looked at it as a comparison. So it's super interesting to see, and just great to learn. And you already mentioned things already that like SvelteKit, and I was like, well, what is that? So do you want to tell us a bit more? Like, what is Svelte? Like, do you want to tell us a bit more about it, and then what is SvelteKit and so forth?
Sure. So Svelte, it isn't new, relatively speaking. It's been around since late 2016 when Rich Harris did the V1 of Svelte, but it's had a few changes. It's at V3 now, and there was Svelte and Sapper was used for like all your applications, but now it's combined into SvelteKit, and SvelteKit is just going to be your one-stop shop for your client-side projects, server-side projects, and Jamstack projects. So it's in public beta at the moment, but they're getting very close to V1. So anything we do today, because it's not in V1, could be subject to change, but it is pretty stable, and everyone's saying it's super stable at the moment. So
Awesome.
It's good stuff. So let's talk a bit more about it being a compiler and the differences between Vue and React. Let's say Vue and React have a virtual DOM, so there's always like some diffing of when something on the page changes. With Svelte, this is before this. It's just Svelte, not SvelteKit, but it's compiled. So Svelte in itself is a compiler. So what gets shipped to the browser is vanilla HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So it's just super fast, small bundles, and away you go. So should we get started?
Let's do it. So I've got my terminal up, and I'm all new to this, so it's kind of almost like a Teach Eddie session. So let's get going. Everyone, cool. If you have any questions, do write it in the chat. We are going to try and answer them all. Yeah. So it's going to be collaborative. And also, don't forget to follow Scott on YouTube, link in the chat. I'll post it again shortly, and Twitter link in the description below as well. So, okay, what shall I type? So I go to my directory first, where I put all my repos, okay, and what shall I type to get SvelteKit going?
So it's npm init command. So npm init.
Oh, so I make a project folder?
No, you don't need to make a directory. No, that's fine.
Oh, okay. npm init, okay.
And then space svelte at next.
Svelte at next, like that?
Yep. And then create the directory you want to put it into.
Okay, so we'll just say Svelte live.
And then enter.
That's it. We're good? Okay.
Yep. And then we're going to say, okay, what version of Node do you want, by the way, before we...
Oh, good question. 16.3. We good?
Should be good. Yeah, should be good.
Okay.
All right, sweet. So skeleton project,
Okay.
and this is down to you. I don't use TypeScript.
I'm a huge fan of TypeScript, but let's keep it simple and let's just stay with JavaScript for now for everybody else.
No to TypeScript. You can add linting if you want. I usually avoid it.
Okay, so I do. I usually add it. We'll add no for now. We'll keep it simple.
And we always add prettier because prettier is what tells us what to do, basically. So along with linting, if you've done something wrong with prettier because it doesn't format. Okay, so we just follow the CLI, CD into the project directory.
Awesome.
npm install.
Awesome.
Init a git repo.
I'm liking this how it doesn't create all of this for us because a lot of the tools just kind of go blah, 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 blah. You got its history already. You're in the wrong branch, and so I'm liking this how you can kind of do this ourselves. So let's get in it. We're in master, so again I will switch to main, and it did say add commit initial commit. Okay, yeah, we can do that. So we'll just do git. Let me just have a quick look. Has it got an ignore file in there? I'm guessing it has already.
It has.
Good. Awesome. Git commit, initial commit, done. And then let's open, I think there's one last step to check it works, which was npm run dev open.
Yep.
And I'll also open VS Code and add you so you can drive to. But let's just check this works. Okay, it's opened in my browser over here. Let me bring it over from this screen to the other screen. So everyone in the chat, let us know if you have used Svelte or SvelteKit before. Let us know. Carl has already said SvelteKit is awesome. That means he's used it, but Carl, I think, has used everything. So let's have a look. What have I missed in the chat? Carl knows so many things. He's supported so many of Eddie Hub projects. I don't know what I would do without him.
So Roshan's asked a good question there. Is Svelte easier than React? Now, Eddie, I think you said before we went live you were doing some comparisons. Did you say on stream?
Yes, that's correct.
Before, when I was like Svelte curious, I made my own sort of notes as well, and it's a lot simpler, isn't it? And if you are just coming from like HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and you want to go into a framework, Svelte will feel like you're still in like vanilla HTML and CSS because everything is just what feels like just a HTML file. So it's really great and it's good to pick up. And you'll see all the memes. There's loads of memes out at the moment as well with implementing a loop and doing something which is in state and stuff like that. So I mean it's to get I would sort of say take a look at it if you're looking to do a framework, but if you're looking for a job, then go with the market and where the skills are needed is what I'd say with that. So I'm not going to say learn Svelte because it's the best, because if you're looking for a job, then if you're good in Svelte but there's no jobs for Svelte, then it's not good advice. I'd say go with the market if you're looking for work.
It's they all got their pros and cons. I was having a play with Svelte yesterday or today, and I did like how straightforward it was. And I could just get started. It just worked. And I was just thinking, so I had a form, and as I was typing in the form, it was displaying on the page, and I wanted to do a click, but I only wanted the click to happen once. And usually if it's in Angular, I'll do a debounce using RxJS. But in Svelte, I just put colon. No, it's even simpler. I think it was in the HTML, I could put colon like once or something. And it only allowed me to click it once. This was from one of their guides. And I was just like, that's just so simple. I don't need any extra advanced JavaScript to do any conditions or anything clever. I just wanted it just to do it once, and that was it. So it was, I thought it was really, really interesting.
All right, sweet. So
so it is working. We've got it up on the screen.
Let's do a tour of the project. Let's do
it. Let me open it and let me invite you as well. Okay. So if I open VS Code, and if I send you an invite, and hopefully you should be, as we practiced this before the live stream, you should hopefully be on my list already. So share. You are there. So invite by
VS Code.
That should be okay. I'll just get a share link, and it should just work. Fingers crossed. We're live, so it probably won't work, but let's let me try. So let's see. And I'm going to check the package JSON as well because Carl's suggesting to have a look. So I'm quite keen to see what we've got in there. Suman, hi, great to have you here. Carl agrees on the description, awesome. Svelte is perfect for me by Charles. Yeah, it's quite interesting. I think, yeah, it'd be interesting to see what projects are built in Svelte. If you're doing side projects, definitely use it. I think it's especially really quick to get started. So
It's so quick to get started with it, yeah.
Hey
right,
Kenrick, how you doing? Just want to say a quick hi to Kenrick. Sorry, when we were doing the Next.js stream, we got stuck making a HTTP request. It wouldn't work, and Kenrick came on the live stream with no kind of planning or anything and saved the day. So thank you so much for joining here today again.
Awesome,
have you used Svelte? Let us know. But awesome to have you here. So I think you're in. Okay, so I can do this. I can say follow you, and then you can drive. So if I go to live share, right click and say follow you, then now as you open stuff, it should automatically follow your screen.
All right, sweet. Let's take a look then. So
I'm hands-free, let's see.
Checking against YouTube now. So I'm not sure how quick this does it. Are we in are we in the Svelte config file? Can everyone see that?
No, we can't. But you can look at also StreamYard as well. That'll be real time. Okay, let me see. Why has that not opened? Svelte config. It says you're in there. Let me try and do a follow again and see. Okay, live share, follow. Okay, let's go. All right. Let's try.
Sweet. So we've got the Svelte config here. You notice this comment here, which is where the project gets hydrated to. So ID Svelte, we could take a look at that in our source.app.html. So this is where the whole project gets built into. Is it following along, Eddie?
Yeah, it seems to be good. Yeah, it seems to be working.
So here is that svelte.body for the project, and then anything we put into the Svelte head, that would also get put into here. Svelte has got its own API, much like Next.js, where you can add your titles for your tabs, but also like meta information for SEO purposes and stuff like that. So that's really handy. We've got the JS config JSON here. This is for you can put alias paths in here. So we've got one at the moment for lib. You can put one in for components, and it's very much like what you get in Next.js as well. Package JSON. I can't remember who wanted to look at that.
Carl mentioned to have a look at it. So any particular reason, Carl? So, let's see. Just one thing to note is it's a type module, and I usually put everything in as a dev dependency because it's a compiler. So everything just goes in as a dev dependency. It gets built, and then that's that. So we've got the usual stuff. We've got the name. I'm guessing you corrected that, Eddie. That's the name I used. Yeah.
And then because usually that's just as to do, and you need to change that. And then we've got our scripts. So I'm guessing we'll mainly be using a dev script here. We can use build when we've got something we want to take a look at, and then preview will let you see what the build output is and how it looks. To do that though, we need an adapter. So something like adapter static or wherever we're going to deploy it to. So adapter netlify, adapter vercel, and there's one for Cloudflare as well, I think. So it could be any of those. Let's carry on. So we've got prettier config. One thing to note in the git ignore, for some reason, .env isn't in here, and I fell foul to that before. So just make sure that goes in there. So we've got our static folder. So we've got the global d.ts because it uses TypeScript. So you can use TypeScript in it if you like. App.html, what we went across, and then the roots here. So in roots folder, you can define your endpoints and your pages, and it's very much like it's file-based routing. So much like Next.js, you pass a slug or an ID to a file, and then that will route through to that page for you.
Interesting. Okay, nice.
Yep, that's pretty much it for the tour of the init.
I'm still shocked by the. Let me close some of these files. By the no like prod dependencies. They're all dev dependencies. I mean that's quite interesting.
So, what's our API look like? We are getting this information from.
Yeah, so what I was going to suggest is we can create an API, and we can do a hard-coded one, and I can connect the real database afterwards, so we can do this in stages. So what I was thinking was, if I just create the new file here, and usually everyone you'd have a separate repos or a mono repo where you'd have subdirectories, one for the UI, one for the API.
Yeah, I'll show you to that. Yeah.
But as we're just going to have one file for the back end, I'm just going to put it in the root and I'm going to call it server.js, just for simplicity. We don't need anything complicated. So everyone's going to see how I'm going to keep this super simple. I'm actually going to go to the Express docs and I'm just going to take some of their examples. But if anyone has any questions, we can go through this. I was just going to go through, do hello world. So I will be adding a dependency here as well. So this is kind of a bit, I don't know, are you happy for me to do this? I'm going to add Express as a dependency. I don't think it should cause an issue. We're not including it in any of the Svelte stuff, so I think it should be okay. I don't think it will cause any issues.
I don't know.
It should be fine.
I don't know, so I'm doubtful. I have no idea, so I'm not trying it myself. So I can say yes or no, but I don't think it will. No.
I don't think it will have any issue. If it does, worst case, we can move it. It'll be a learning curve for all. Let's see if people are shouting in the chat and saying, Eddie, don't do that. That's a terrible idea. But no, it should be okay. So if we go back to here, I'm literally going to take the hello world example, and then we're just going to hard code in an actual other endpoint. So they've got a get on the root. But what should we do today, everyone? Should we do to-dos? Should we do members? Should we do events? We've done events before. We've done members before. What else could we do? So let me know what you think I should put in here as well. Any ideas, Scott? What can we do? We could do YouTubers, right? Or we could do developers. And we can just list some of the developers in the chat as well. So if we do this, I'm going to hard code this, but we will move this to a real database. So we'll just return an array for the list. We'll do the list first. Always find that's the easiest. So we're going to make it a list of objects, and it's going to be a get on /developers. Svelte was on which port? On 3000, so we should change the API to be re3001, so there's no conflict. So we could do name. Who shall we pick? Carl's saying do link-free data. Okay, yeah, we could, I suppose. You want to do another link-free kind of app? Okay, we could do that. So let me dig that out real quick. So if we do GitHub Eddie link-free, and if we go to data, we could just I grab mine as an example, and then we can grab other people's as well. So this is the data. Okay, so we can do one of those. So let me just grab that. And then we can put out the data that we want. Okay, there's one person. I should do a second one, otherwise it's kind of like the list will be a bit sorry. We're going to bring out Carl, as Carl has suggested this. So let's have a look. Carl, where are you on here? Have I missed it? I'm pretty sure you are on this list, Carl, but maybe not. Okay, I'll pick someone else and add you later on. So we will just pick, I saw Koalia jump out. So let's pick Koalia's. Here we go. There we go. Okay. So we hit save. And so if I start the app, so we should actually in the package JSON, I will add it there just to be all in one place. I'm going to add another script, and I'm just going to say API, and we'll just do something like node server.js. And we're not using node mons, keeping it really, really simple. So let's have a look. So in here, we have the UI running. So if I have the API running, in theory, we should be able to run npm run API. And I broke it. Why did I break it? It's required.
It's EJS, isn't it? So did I point out in the so if you go to the package JSON again?
I think you did mention it.
I don't think type module. I don't think I brought. So you could do ESM syntax or because what I should have mentioned, but I didn't. is that everything in SvelteKit, because it uses Vite, it's all built into browser modules. So any time there's a change or anything like that, it just loads in the module directly to the browser, and that's why it's so quick. So there's no Webpack involved, and there's no sort of big bundle for it to go through. It's just any module it needs. It just loads it as it needs it. So, how are you with
Meteora?
it? So, could we
Import it?
Just use a
I think that should work.
It's the syntax would be different around some of it, but just use.
I'm not sure how the library is actually. Let me see. Would that work? I don't know if they call it Express like that. Express not found.
So
okay, I can put it in
remove it. Okay.
Go on, sorry. No, carry on.
I was going to say remove it as a named import. Maybe just say Express. Let me try that.
Let's give it a go. We'll get there. Oh, yeah, that worked. Okay, so it's not named. Good call. Okay, let me see. Got some suggestions for names in the chat. Well, this is just a demo. This won't become into a Carl, you're not in there. We need to get you added. I think you need to submit a PR. We've got some good names for the projects. Okay. Okay, so that's running. So if we go to the browser now, and if I go to localhost 3001, it's hello world. But if I go / what do we call it? Developers, you can see we've got that data. So that works. Awesome.
Sweet.
Okay. So the API is working, so we'll let you drive for the Svelte stuff. How can we display this in a list?
Right. Okay. So in our roots here, we can define an endpoint. So what's the list called? Sorry, I'm checking on the other screen now.
The URL for the API.
Yeah.
It's localhost 3001 developers.
So we're going to call this developers, and then this is going to be an index.json.js file. So the .json.
Oh, wait a second. We don't see you typing. Which file are you typing in?
I'm doing the file name.
Okay. We won't see that. Okay, got you.
Oh, that's annoying. Okay, so
we'll see it once it's created, I guess.
If I just hit enter, oh, wow, that's a bit slow. So I've created a folder. And then in the folder, we've got an index.json.js. So the .json is the return type of the endpoint here. So this is where we can define HTTP methods. So in here, what could I do? I don't know. So this is where we would do export export. Is it an async function? It's be async. So we find.
Are you going to do a fetch in there? Is that the idea?
Yes. Well, it's just a HTTP GET method. So let me find something which is super straightforward, but because I'm on stream, I've just totally lost my mind.
It happens to all of us. No problem. Don't worry. We can have people help us in the chat as well. So I'm actually really interested to see if this becomes almost like a backend that you have in Next.js.
It is, yeah. So this is, you can define your HTTP methods. So we want to do a get. And then
so we might not need Express. This could be quite interesting.
So, but we can get it from the endpoint to begin with. That's fine.
Yeah.
So we could do a try and what do we got to do? We want to sort of, we want fetch, but we haven't got fetch. Can I destructure it in here?
Yeah, fetch should be available, right? Well, because isn't fetch part of the browser? It's just built in, I think, fetch already, isn't it? I'm pretty sure it's just available.
I can't spell function. That's what that was.
I thought that was a new thing. I was waiting for you to tell me functions with two ends is what all the cool kids are doing. So
No, sorry. Right. So let's just try that, and then in here, turn, and if it's successful, I mean, we could put the response status in. Just put 200, comma, and body of the response dot. Right. So I need this here. Do that. That's here. But not API index.json. It is. Where's it gone?
Localhost 3001 /developers.
It needs to be HTTP, Scott.
It's always harder to do on live streams.
3001.
I am thinking we can simplify this a lot. This is going to be even better than I thought. It's
Yeah, so I've got a stray bracket down here. No, that's right. But there's no catch. That's why. So
look at you doing proper try catches. I'm like, yeah, it's a prototype. We don't need try catches. It's fine.
Right. Is that right? We'll just go with that for now. So now let's save this. Is it saving? Yep. Okay. Cool. So now, if you go back over to the browser ready,
yeah,
and 3000 / developers.json. Oh, it's an empty object. Okay, so I'm obviously not bringing back. Let's try.
We got a 500, I think.
Right.
Network. Let's have a look. Developer.json 500. It came out of an empty object.
No.
I don't know why it's just got a 500.
Yeah, it's because I let Copilot just do its thing. So
yeah, I love Copilot. It's always good, but sometimes it is not right.
What is the containing object for our server? So where is it? I could just go look at it, Scott. Let you do that, mate.
There isn't a containing object. I think it's just a collection. It goes straight into a collection.
Okay. So that should. Where have I gone?
So response.json. That looks good.
Yeah. That's what I thought. Maybe because I'm doing it twice.
You're doing it twice. That should be okay, I think. 200, 500. It should say what the error is if it's got one.
Did it say anything in?
Yeah, 3001. Yes, it was 3001, and we've got 3001 in here. So yes, but we've got two APIs, everyone. So I think we are going to simplify it. We're just going to check this works. But I actually think to simplify it now, we don't need Express. I didn't realize I was looking at Svelte rather than SvelteKit. So because SvelteKit has this API layer, and I did see you create a file before, in the git ignore, you added in .env. So it looks like we could put our API logic in this file, and actually we don't need to use Express, which I think is epic. So what I'm going to do, to simplify, if you're happy with this, I'm going to take this example data and move it to index.json. Mm-hmm. And then we don't need to make this API call. We will need to make an API call to the database, but that bit isn't, we're not doing that bit yet. So in theory, I think, if you're happy with this, Scott, I'm going to delete this, and I'm just going to put the data in here, like so.
That's it.
And if I save that, and if I refresh this, it does work. Data works, so we will have to make an API call still in a bit to the database, because we want this to come out of the database, not out of. So I want to close the 3001. I want to stop running the API because that isn't needed. Okay, that's even simpler than I thought. So that's pretty cool. So okay, you carry on doing your thing. Let me remove the fetch as well. We'll put res and response in there too. Okay, so we've got data
All right.
coming back. What is the next step?
Right. So let's put in a.
Let me follow you again.
Here it is.
Follow.
Right. So in our routes now we can. You can't see the context menu, but in here we'll have a developer's Svelte file. It'll be index.svelte. And then in here, we can use some script tags. You notice that these are, it says context module. So that runs before the page loads.
Okay.
And this means that I can use another one of the, is it not a lifecycle method, but there's a load you can do for each page. So if I do another async function, yeah, and this is going to be the load function for the page. If I could type load, and then from here we can destructure out the fetch again, browser fetch, I can type. Right, and then in here, let's just go with that Copilot for now. So we want to get a response from fetch of the index.json of developers. Developers.json. Oh, what happened there? .json. Right, and then in here, say if response okay, thank you, GitHub Copilot. Then what's the? I mean, if I'm just typing myself, then it's going to be terrible. So we'll just get the data response.json and return that as props to the page. Props. You can tell I don't touch type, so this is going to be the data. I really should touch type, but I don't. And what have I missed? Something? Missed anything?
I think it looks okay.
It does look okay, doesn't it? Just wondering why Pretty is not doing its thing. Anyway, so now we should get something isn't right. I'm not sure what it is.
If I hit save, maybe it might work at my end, maybe because it's local to me.
That, yeah.
No, it didn't format it. Didn't do anything. Right.
So if we're just going to pretend that this is all correct, I'm not sure it is fetched. So we're making a response to our developers.json endpoint.
Sounds good.
We're saying if the response is okay, then we're going to define a variable for the data. And this is just going to be the response.json of that. And then that should just bring us back our data here. So we should be able to use that in our page. So I'm just going to go with it. We're just going to put another script tag in here. And this is export let, which is what you say to for a page to accept props from the server.
Okay.
And this is going to be data. And then this means that now, if I put in pre-JSON tag here, I should just be able to dump out the contents of what's in data. So if we could take a look at localhost.
Let's do it. And we might have an error, we might not. Let's have a look.
Yeah.
Developers, right? / developers. Without the JSON.
All right, sweet. So I don't know why Pretty is not doing this thing, but now we can start scaffolding out our developers list.
Awesome.
So in here,
that sounds good.
So in here we can use the Svelte. Is it 4 each?
Yep, 4 each. While you're doing that, I'm going to go get another microphone. My microphone is about to die. So back in 2 secs. You carry on.
So I'm flying solo. I'm in charge now.
You're the boss. So back in 2 secs. I'll be back in 2 secs. I've got another one. I think it's charged.
The the Svelte each directive will take in the object we're looping over, which is data. And then in here, we can have the variable which we are using inside that loop. So this is going to be developer. And then in here, again, we could just use the pre-JSON tag trick and see what's in developer. And Eddie's not here to switch over to the tab. So we're just going to presume that that's okay. And then we can start destructuring out the parts of what is in this developer object and putting the rest of the markup in the page for that. So can I, while Eddie's doing that, I'm just trying to think of a way to, well, I'll just look at the data. Be a good one to do. So in the index here, so we've got name, bio, avatar, links. Right, let's go for that. Back to where I was. So, okay, GitHub. Let's just make it in a div, I guess.
Okay, hopefully people can hear me. Is it all okay?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
Perfect. What I miss?
So this is going to be, I guess, an unordered list, and then each item in the unordered list here is going to be a list item, and this is going to be. Did we have a developer URL? Let's go back to the name, bio, avatar. Right, let's just copy that. Put this into the index.svelte page, and then we can destructure those values into the loop here. So let's put in name, goes into curly boys. So we could do name, bio. This needs to be put into markup, but this could be image.source.avatar. Are you giving me that squiggle?
If I hover it and see, what does it say? What does it say? Here we go. Hover. Image should have an alt tag. It's just a suggestion. So we could just do alt with name. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Sweet. So if we could get rid of.
Should we ditch the pre?
Yeah. All right. Let's try that. Excuse me.
Nice. We have me and Koalia. Perfect.
All right. So there's no markup around those yet. I've literally just wrapped up the variables into curly braces, and you can do what you like with that, I guess. So one thing we could do is on the links in the markup here for the links. That's an array, so we could do another 4 in there. But it would be good to check first that there is anything in it. So in here, in here, I could do a svelte if. Oh, I'm using snippets. So I better in my extensions, Svelte 3 snippets, and this is just all the Svelte directives. When you see me typing stuff out, it's just this list of can you see the extension?
Let me see. I installed one extension myself, but I think I haven't got this one. You got the snippets one.
That's what I'm using, Svelte snippets. So when you see me typing out S something, it's just to bring up one of these snippets rather than me having to
got you.
type
I
out
see.
the
Okay.
stuff. So because I'm terrible at typing, I just have everything as a shortcut.
No, that makes sense.
If what was it? Links? Link or links?
Let me just. It's links is the array. Let me just answer Rohan's question. Rohan, no, this is not for link free. I will do a live stream on that later this week or next week. We do have reviews, open source reviews still to do as well as a live stream. Today we're just building a full stack CRUD app, but using Svelte this time, and we were going to connect it We're using SvelteKit actually, which is a bit like Nest.js. So it's a framework. It's got the backend built in, and we'll be connecting it to DataStax's in a few moments as well. So we're going to do CRUD, full stack CRUD, but we're using Svelte this time rather than Angular that we did last week, Nest.js, and React we've done previously.
So that's the comparison I bring up as well, because I think it's especially with the file notation for like routing and stuff, it's so much like Next.js. I mean, maybe it wasn't Next.js that I brought out, but that's what I'm familiar with. So in this if directive here, we're checking if there is anything in links, and if there is, okay, Copilot will do another unordered list. Unordered list in an unordered list, is that a thing?
Unordered, yeah, I think you can do unordered list within an unordered list. Yeah, let's do it. Nested unordered list.
Sorry, it should be a list item, shouldn't it? So what's in the links name URL icon? So in here, not in here, we could do another Svelte each, and then this will be links, and then this will be each link in links. But we could further destructure that. Is everyone okay with me just destructuring everything out of this? Because
you can. I didn't think to do it in a loop in React or in Svelte, etc. So this is interesting. So I'm learning Svelte obviously today with you, and we all are. But also this is an interesting. I never thought to do that. So that's actually a really interesting concept.
I won't claim to me. It's just for me looking at other people's code, and I'm like, oh, you can destructure it in there. That's cool. So I mean, just for now, let's just put in the name and the URL. That's probably going to
some of these questions as well.
And then the icon.
So Rohan, Eddie, you are trying literally everything. A true full stack developer, I must say. Yeah, I like to try different things, and I can do a better comparison rather than just say, this is amazing, and only have used one tool. It's like, imagine a builder only using a hammer and then going, I know how to use this hammer so well, everything I see looks like a nail, and just go bang and bash everything. They need to learn different screwdrivers types, different sizes, etc. and so on. So I'm trying different things, and these streams of trying to build a full stack app, because yes, like today or this morning, I did a hello world in Svelte, and that was really fun and so forth, but it's not the same as building a full stack app, because once you've got literally a full stack app with list and create and so on, you can more or less do anything. It's more or less a spin of what it is. Whereas if someone hasn't read data from an API or hasn't written to an API, they're not doing the full stack side. That's what I'm trying to do. I think this is the last in the series. We will see how it goes though, but we're always doing loads of live streams. But in terms of that full stack idea, and here's a question for you, Scott, as well. Svelte is for static web pages, right? It doesn't have to be static though, because you can read an API.
Yeah. So there is a pre-render flag. So we wouldn't do it here. Or we could do it here. So const pre-render equals true, I think. I think that's what it is. And then that tells the compiler that this is a static page and it's not going to change much. But when you do something like that, then there is some additional config with your SvelteKit where you need to put in pre-render stuff, what it is you want to crawl and things like that. So we could come on to that, but that will make it a static page. I need to learn more about that myself. But from what I've seen, if you want to make it a static page, tag it with that pre-render true, and that's it. But I do most of my stuff in Vercel, and it doesn't play nicely with it, probably because like Vercel is hybrid and it lets you do it either way, and it doesn't like that. I've not dug into it enough to understand it. So I think for what we're doing here, we could do that and it just be static. I've done it for the Netlify course, which is just gone out today, which is building with SvelteKit and GraphQL. Plug. Sorry, Eddie.
No worries.
Where we do it in there, and it basically when it builds every page, and it goes up to Netlify as like a whole static site with everything pre-built.
Interesting.
So if
Okay.
dynamic stuff to happen. I mean, for like a CRUD app, and you want stuff changing, I'm not sure it's going to work. It probably could, but the SvelteKit demo actually is an awesome example, and it's a to-do app. So when we spun up npm init Svelte next, and we hit enter, we had the option to pick a demo app, and that demo app is just like a full CRUD application, which just goes off to its own API.
Nice.
I mean, we could have just done it from there, but I thought it'd be more interesting if we just did it. Watch me sort of struggle going through it all.
Absolutely.
So, can we run npm run format on this? Because it's hurting my soul to look at all this unformatted.
Yeah, it's odd why it's not formatting. Let me see if we can. It says pretty as running. It says it's
I could run it from a terminal, couldn't I? Yeah.
But also we can do. What happens if we do format with, and we say prettier? I guess.
Yeah,
that looks better.
Right, sweet. It doesn't. I use. Do you use four spaces for tabs?
No, I don't.
Spaces.
That's not normally what I use. I use 2 spaces. It's interesting. But it should be picking up this config, right? Use tabs true. Okay, so it is picking it up correctly. I guess that's the default, right? For their project. I always keep everything to default. So whatever framework or library I'm using, I just use. I'm not fussy. I just use kind of whatever's vanilla.
So should we check out the browser and see what we've got in here now?
Let's do it. I just want to say. Go on. Sorry.
It's fine. I was just going to say I wanted to add a bit of markup. It's not great, but we've got something in there to look at, I guess.
Yeah, we'll add it. So I'm going to answer some few questions. So this itself is the Svelte file, but this index.json.js is a JavaScript file, but it returns JSON, so that's why it's in the name like that.
So with SvelteKit, you can use HTTP functions within endpoints. So this is effectively an endpoint we've built within the project. So in here we could do get, put, delete, not delete because it's reserved in JavaScript, but del. I think you can use patch as well for HTTP functions. So anything we want to do, we could define it in here or anywhere else. But I mean, if you wanted to just get out like one item from there, we could also do that as well. But I think for now, we'll just leave it as this, and we could look at. Hey, okay, so
there we go, and look, we have Koala. You came in at the right time. We actually have you on the page.
So that list looks terrible. So what we could do, I mean, with SvelteKit, the styles are scoped to the page and the component. So I'm guessing you read up on this, Eddie, where you can just put in a style tag at the bottom and write your CSS into that.
I did like that. I used to hate that stuff when React used to do it, but now I really love it.
So there's that. I've been using Tailwind and Daisy UI pretty much exclusively with SvelteKit, but we can put in a style tag at the bottom here, and we can add in some styles. I am terrible at styling, and doing this on the fly would be. I don't think anyone wants to watch that. But if people are interested, there's a couple of tools called Svelte Add, where you can just add anything to a Svelte project. So if you just want to go to the browser quickly, Eddie, and just go Svelte Add, and then see what comes up. There should be like a GitHub project, and you can add in Tailwind. There's
Svelte Add like that. Oh yes.
Yeah, easily add integrations. There you go. So if you scroll down a bit, we can look at the README. What have we got? So Bootstrap Bulma, MD Specs, Post CSS, SCS. So we can just do an npx script, and then that'll get configured into the project for us. But I think we're going to be sidetracked here. I think we'll just connect up the API, see how that looks, and then we can. This takes a couple of minutes. it configs it all for you. So that could be quite straightforward towards the end.
Yeah, we could do that. Let's get the data from the API to make it full stack, and then let's write some data, and then we can style it up a bit more. Sounds good.
Sweet.
Let's do that. So next up, this is great. I'm sort of liking that it's got a backend built in. I think this is really, really awesome. Okay.
Once I put my head around it, I was like, wow, you can just make a HTTP method, to wherever you want.
Exactly.
I've been using it pretty much exclusively with like GraphQL request, just because of where I work. Everything is on a GraphQL API. So, but you can do it with your backend. So do you need to set up a client for this, Eddie? And then
I'm just going to go to the docs now to show how simple it is. So what
cool.
I'm going to do is I'm going to actually go to the package.json. I'm going to delete server. We don't need that anymore, which is awesome. Go to the package.json, and I'm going to remove Express, get rid of that. But I am going to go to the terminal and follow the docs for Astra JS, which is a NoSQL database that we use for our project. It's made by DataStax's. It's serverless database, which is pretty awesome because it means I'm doing air quotes now, you get charged for what you use, but they give you $25 free per month allowance. And even with all my automated testing, even with everyone in our community using it, all the rest, I struggle to use like $2. So it's a super, super generous tier. And I will log in, and actually I can log in and show everybody. There's a link in the description below if you want to sign up for free to use it. I log in with my GitHub, and you all can do the same. And if I just give a quick demo, you just hit create database. It's just so simple. I love it. So you can hit create database, you can create database. So I've got a YouTube database, and then you get these things called namespaces where you can group all your tables and so forth and collections into one space. So for our API project, we've got data from different Discord servers. At the moment, it's just our Discord server, but there will be others. And we're actually having it so each Discord server has its own key space or namespace. And the reason for that is if anyone ever wants to kind of not use the bot or not use the API and delete their data, we don't have to go through and delete rows out of a collection or certain collections. We can literally just delete the key space or namespace, and it deletes all their data, and then literally we've got rid of all of it. So we don't have to manage all this separation, it just handles it all for us, which is epic. So
nice,
what we could do, it's just really, really simple. And I mean, you can see the dashboard. I think, where is it? If I go back to here, and if you want to connect, you click here, it gives you can go API, you can connect over Graph, you can connect over REST, you can go over the SDKs, and you can go over Cassandra. It's effectively Cassandra underneath, which powers iCloud and Yelp and loads of other massive places.
LinkedIn? Oh no, it's Kafka LinkedIn, isn't it? Yeah, okay.
I'm not sure, but actually DataStax's have brought out streaming, which is the Kafka equivalent, I think is my understanding. It's Apache, I can't remember what it is underneath, but it uses, if I click on it, it's going to work. It uses one of the Apache projects as well, which Cassandra is one of the Apache projects too. So what I'm going to do is I've got the docs here, the JavaScript docs, and we can install it. So let's just do it. I'll just do npm. You'll see how straightforward it is. Literally just a few lines of code to get a database running, which is just epic.
So while you're doing that, Eddie, just in response to what Rohan said as well about the .js, .json.js file. We already said that it defines the return type. So another example of what you can do with it is I use it on my personal blog for a sitemap and for an RSS feed. So that would just be index.xml for the index.xml.js, and then you create your XML format. So just take all your data out of your site, which you want to put into your file. And then you can just generate it as an XML file. That's only two I've thought about. I'm not sure what other file formats you could produce via an endpoint. But I think when endpoints clicked for me, and I know I'd done something similar in Next.js for a sitemap, and I was like, oh, can I do it in Svelte? And I could. I was like, this is awesome. My whole site is now going over to Svelte. Bye Gatsby. I do love you still, but I'm having fun with this at the moment. So that's what I did, and yeah, it's very versatile. Is what I will say to most people. It's super versatile for doing lots of stuff, and I am very much down in the rabbit hole at the moment, playing about with it. So this is cool as well because I don't think I'm actually connected to a REST API with it. So we'll see how this goes.
Awesome. So I've just followed these parts here. I've done the exports for the database tokens and so forth, and I've done it off screen so no one saw my tokens. So they should be there. And so what we need to do next is in the code, if I close, so we've installed the Astra.js, which is just scrapping a REST client, just to make it a bit easier for us. So you can go over a normal REST. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete this to make this file a lot smaller now. Here we go. And what I need to do next is, okay, we're going to have to do this with an import, aren't we? So if I do import, I think I can do it like that, right? Is it going to be named? I don't know. Create.
Yeah, do you know what I usually do?
What do you usually do?
So if you just get rid of the equal sign and the create client from the curly brackets, then do from.
So we'll delete this as well?
Yeah, because it's just a little tip. So yeah, do from, and then put in the namespace for it. So it's at Astra, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll just and then in the curly boys there, control space or command space.
Command space.
Oh no, because
I'm on a Mac. Yeah.
All right. So usually what I do is I start typing it out, and then what is it for the Mac then? How do you get your IntelliSense up?
It just auto completes usually. I never really thought about it.
So
like,
usually,
just like that.
There you go, and then tab. Yeah, just because I type out everything all the time. So I lean heavily on using VS Code and the auto completion in it.
I bet.
And I found that if you just put in where it's coming from, and then you can start typing stuff out, and it'll auto complete for you.
No, that sounds like a good idea. So what I'm going to do is from the documentation, as everyone saw, you can just create the client here, which is a REST client. So just for simplicity, I want to copy it from over here and just paste it in. So all I've done is, this is from the docs, and then the next line on the docs is connect. This is for convenience. You don't have to do this. You can do this every time, but connect to the namespace, which is the key space, and then the collection you want. So you just got a variable where it's just easy to use. So we're going to do Svelte. I call it Svelte Live, and the collection we were going to call it developers, weren't we? So
yeah,
we can call that whatever we want. It will automatically create it if it's not there. And then on the client, we're going to return the collection. If we were connecting to loads of different ones, we probably wouldn't want this in the function. We would do it as and where we need it. But
I'm just smiling at VJ's comment. Petition to name this app Swanky as opposed to Swankies. Yes, Swanky works. Oh, the feed keeps going on YouTube. I'll keep refreshing it.
Okay, so while you're fixing that, let me carry on. So now we've got that. Now it's so easy. We can just do a get to get one if we've got the ID, or if we want to do a find, we can just do a find and we could pass it no object and it will get back all the data, or we could put an equals, which we'll do later with a search if we have time. And to create, you literally just pass it the object. Like, it is so straightforward. So we're doing a get here, but we haven't got any data in. So it's going to be interesting. We have to create some data as well. Let me see. So let's have a look. So if we do a get and we do not do a find one, we'll do a find all. So let's just grab this. So we're going to say this is the collection, and then in here we're going to want to say const client, and we're going to want to do an await. It's already an async function, which is great. Client, and then next we'll want to do a find. So in this case, we should actually do this in the try.
In the try, yeah.
Yeah, so it's not users, it's going to be, let me do that, it's going to be developers, and it's not user collection, it's going to be client, because we've got that got the collection being returned on the client. We'll do a find with nothing. If you do it on Cassandra, it will return everything in the partition, which you could bring down your partition. But because we're using their SDK, they do limit it to 20 results, and you can override that with config and all the rest. So we're pretty safe there. But we'll save that, and then we'll do developers in here. But there will be no data. So we need to create some data. So let me see. I'm just going to move this off screen for the moment, make sure my tokens don't come up. But because it is an API, what we can do, here we go. Because it is an API, we can just send curl commands to it. So here's ones I prepared earlier. So here we go, we've got a curl, it's a post, so create data. We're going to go to, and this is actually, they have it in their docs. I think it's further down, I can't remember. They do have it, or in the getting started section, they do have it to give you these curl commands. So these variables are already set. I think the region was set. I need to double check that the region was set. And then the namespace, and then it's not going to be users. It's going to be developers for us. The key space, I'm pretty sure, is set. And then the data, well, I don't know if we do create the data via a form. It might be easier than me trying to type out JSON here. So I just realized how much data we've got. So maybe for that sake, we could, if I create a post here, I'm guessing to create a post, we would then just duplicate this, change the get to a post. We'll still want the client, but instead of a find, we'll do a create. I think that was from the DataStax's docs. Let me check and see. So there is the find, and the create, it's just a create on the collection. So we can just do a create. We will pass in. How do I get the request? Is it rec?
Rec.body.
.body.
Or let's go to the Svelte docs actually, because for form data, I think you can just get everything off of the form body object. Let's try. Go on, you carry on, Eddie. I'll try and find that.
No worries. So we'll return. We will do that, and then when we do a post, we really want to return the object and the ID that got created. So this won't be a developers. This will be say a developer. It will be the ID. So what we'll do is we will do developer. So we'll do ID. We'll come back as developer document ID, but then we also want to return the data as well. So whatever we do for the body, so we can create a const up here just to be easier. So we can say data, and we can go rec body. So if we change it, it's just in one place. So we can do data, and then we can do data, and we will spread it as well, and then that should work hopefully. Okay, let's have a look. What people chatting?
Could I just be excused very quickly? I'll be back very shortly.
Yeah,
Sorry,
no worries. That's cool. I'll catch
sorry.
up with the chat. So what are we building? We have a question. So we're building a CRUD app. I think people have answered that already. So Sujal, thank you so much for answering. We're building a CRUD app. CRUD app. Token revealed? Really? Was there a token revealed? I don't think so. No, because my token's a variable. I don't think so. Let me know if there was a token revealed. I don't think there was. Do you need Express for a request body? My understanding is because Svelte has this lightweight backend like Next.js, we actually don't need it. The reason why I was putting Express if you're using say React or Angular is because you don't want to put the database tokens in the front end. But because we've got this kind of lightweight backend, I can put the tokens into the .m file. So therefore, it's not exposed. It's only kept on the server side because this being an API, it's on the it's on the server side, which is quite interesting. Nope, it wasn't. But the stress is always there. Okay, you stressed me out a little bit, but so glad it wasn't. But yes, the stress is always there. Don't do that to me. Okay, cool.
Sorry, what did I miss? Did you?
Oh no,
so API keys.
Yeah, VJ was saying I token PTSD, but I kind of read it as what? Something was shown, was it? But it wasn't. So
there's an extension from John Papa called Cloak, and that will hide your env secrets in VS Code. So
got you. Nice.
Definitely go for that if you live stream a lot, because I am sorry, it's not this. This is Dana Woodman. He does a load of great stuff in SvelteKit, and I'd recommend you check him out. But this is for the form data. But
Okay.
yeah, I do you know what? When you said you bring in the env keys, I was getting stressed because I was like, just don't let me near that file because I will show it. And I've done it so many times on stream where I'm like, okay, I'm just going to put the key in here and then just reveal it. And I'm like, oh, right. So I've got to invalidate that and do it again. So that tool is really useful for people who do this sort of thing a lot.
Well, I'll have to have a look. What's the name of the... this is why I love having these Geek Out sessions. We get to learn so much. There's so many tools out there.
Just search Cloak, and it's from a guy called John Papper.
John Papper, okay. I'll have to have a look about this later on. This looks interesting. I have to add it to my dot files as well and see how it works.
Yeah, so it just obfuscates the... it doesn't obfuscate, it just hides your env variables. So in your .env file, it will just hide them.
That's pretty cool. Okay, I'm going to install that. So I
I wouldn't recommend doing it on stream, though.
Okay, I've installed it. Let's just so I don't forget, it's installed. But okay, hopefully it doesn't break anything.
I think you need to enable it as well. So
okay.
Just, yeah.
Okay, awesome. Well, we can also do a post, right? So I can test this post out. It's building the form. So what I can do, I don't know if people know this, if you've seen some of my videos, everyone, you would know this, that we can do request.http file. And then in here, I can make requests. So we can say it's going to make a post to HTTP localhost 3000 developers. And then we will probably want content type of application JSON, and then we can put in a body. So we can see, not that one. So what we can do is we can actually comment out the create if we wanted to, and just put a console log and just see if the data is coming through. So we could do something like, I don't know, return an empty body, but then we can do a console log. Oops. Do a console log to see what if the body is coming through correctly. So data. So all I have to do here, if I just do, I don't know, name, and then we can just say Eddie. So it's not that we're going to need more in the body, but we can check it works. I can hit send request, and we can see. So no, 404 didn't work. So that did not get picked up.
Don't you need to put in you put in post, didn't you, as well? So post.
I did, yeah, that should be a post. If I run it again, and it should say what we did. Let's have a look. We got an error back. Yeah, 404. It couldn't find the endpoint. I put developers. Is that what we called it? Let me check.
Yeah.
Developers, and I spelt it right. Well, we can test the get. Let's just see if I duplicate this, and then.
This is dope. I didn't know you could do this. So
it is a plugin to do this. Yeah, so it is a plugin to do this, and it comes up with these send requests on top. Interesting. So that also didn't work. So I've done something wrong.
I don't, because we had cause errors there, didn't we?
Or was it a cause error? Shouldn't be. We're not using the browser, I don't think.
No.
It just says 404 not found.
So the host, localhost 3000.
It is 3000, right? 3000.
Yeah.
Oh, 404. So wait a second. We have broken something. Because now it's saying 404 not found. So what did we break in this? Oh, is it because... okay, so what we can do
the get should still be working, right? Have we changed that?
I haven't changed the get. I did put the client in there in a find, but I could omit that and just put an empty object again, and let's see. Debugging live.
Yeah.
Let's have a look and see. It refreshes automatically, right? So that's reloaded, and it didn't like that. Interesting. Oh, I did not like that. We can start commenting out more. Let's just comment out everything, get back to what it was, check it works. This is why I love automated testing, because you can just each step as you go along. Why is that not working now? So comment that, it's not even being used. Okay, properly busted it. Maybe because there's no data here, which doesn't really matter. If I just do name,
yeah,
test. No. Okay. Unrecoverable error.
Try developers.json to see if that's still working.
Oh yes, I wanted .json. Sorry, that's what I wanted. my bad. Yes, we haven't appended that onto the URL. So let's put this back. This will work. So I'm going to leave those commented out. But yes, it needs to be .json. Otherwise, that's getting the web page. Good point.
Yes.
Yes. So now an empty object. So that is correct. What we wanted. Okay, my bad. I forgot it's the .json to hit the API.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's an empty object, so it is correct. Who saw that? I'm sure in the chat someone saw that already. Yeah, request in VS Code. Yeah, I don't use Postman anymore. I did a video on this because now I can commit the request.http file, and then other people in the team can just have this and then just hit send request and just use it. So we can have different gets, posts, patches, and so forth. So it's really, really awesome. There's some other ones as well, possible.
Thunder client.
Don't know. I think I've heard of that one.
So I've been using Insomnia quite a lot because it's got a GraphQL implementation as well. And I don't suppose you could do that with this.
I don't think so.
No.
Okay, so this is an error, but this could be because I went to the post this time and I called in the client. So let me just comment out the client and let's just check we're getting the data. That's what we want mostly, really. Oops, wrong. I will get there eventually. Request. There you go. So you've got empty object. So we didn't get the data because I think we were returning the data. Let me see. What did we do? Console log. Should be something in there. Let's have a look. Yes, okay, so it does work. Okay, perfect. So we did get the data out. So this does work. Rec.body, really straightforward, really simple, does work. And I really like that. So that's the console log. So let's see if we can send it to the database and see if we can get it out as well. So we don't need the console log. Let's create the data and let's return the data that we were creating, but with the ID. So maybe I should change that to response. Really, that would make more sense. And then for this one, we want to put the client back in and actually do a find. And then let's have a look. Oh, actually, we'll need to do a map on this data, but we'll do this in a moment. So you'll see the data won't return quite correctly in a different format. So let me see. If we make the request again, so we need a bit more data here. So if I go, where was our data on GitHub? We had it here. I'm going to take Koalia's data and I'll do mine afterwards. If I paste this in here, so we should be creating this data. So send request, 500, cannot access client before initialization. Okay, that's a new one for me. Let's have a look. So it didn't like that this was a separate function, I think.
Yeah, because it's grayed out there, isn't it? So if you could scroll back up.
Yeah, it looks like it's not
being
used.
Oh,
I know why. I've got client twice. Okay, right, that's a bit stupid. No one spotted that. Everyone in the chat, have you all fallen asleep and you haven't spotted all my mistakes? Yes, well, more people are joining here, so hopefully these people can check on my mistakes. So Arshdeep and Hamza, thank you so much for joining as well. You can hopefully fix my mistakes. But Sajal is definitely active and so is VJ too, so that's good. Right, so we can call this, I don't know, call this like database or something, or just DB. And then this would be DB, and then we can have the client available to us. Right. Terrible, terrible mistake on my behalf. So let's try again. Right. 20th time lucky. Oh, we've still got 500. Base URL required. Okay, so that I know what that is. I've seen that error before. It means it's not picking up one of my environment variables. Because with Astra DB, you can run it locally on a Docker container. Yeah. It's completely open source.
Sorry, this is also my fault for not spotting this. Sorry, Eddie. So no if you go back up to the top of your index.json file here. Yeah, so process.env, because SvelteKit uses Vite,
Right.
process.env isn't used, so we're going to have to load it up. So you have to use a package like env -cmd and then put that into the dev script to load up the env variables. So totally on me now. I'm so sorry, everyone.
No problem at all.
That. So yeah, let's install stop the dev server and install env-cmd, and then we'll put that before the dev script.
Got you. So what am I installing? Sorry, install
-big D. Just install it as a dev dependency. That's all. So yeah, env-cmd. This is what I use. There's other ones to use.
Sure.
Okay, and then in the dev scripts,
yeah.
So the package JSON, and then just put in front of SvelteKit space dev in the dev command there. Put env.
Oh yes, because we're not using the Node server anymore. Yeah. Sorry, what am I putting in before the SvelteKit? Yeah.
env-cmd.
env-cmd, like that.
Yep, and then it's not updating for me, but I'm just going to say yep. There we go. That's it. Right. Okay. Cool. So save that.
Stop
kill
that.
the dev server. Yeah. Start it again. So.
Okay. I'm gonna. Will it pick it up from the environment variables then? So let me start it in this one.
I'm not sure if
it wants an M file. Okay, that makes sense. It's not loading it from the environment. That's fine. I can create an M file.
Oh, sorry. I thought you had an M file.
No, it is environment variables.
Oh, they're coming from your. Right. Okay. So just try. They should come from there.
Okay. So let's give it a go. I think it was in the wrong terminal, so it's my mistake. So it was my mistake. I had it running in the wrong terminal where I had the environment variable. So I think it will work now. Let me close that. Let's see. Right, everyone watching who's still awake, out of 10, .env is the one I use. Thank you, VJ. I couldn't remember what the name was. So everyone who's still awake, out of 10, how confident that this is going to work this time? I'm pretty confident. I'm feeling a 9. Scott, what about you? What are you feeling?
8.7. Let's go with that.
8.7. Okay. Okay, cool. So yeah, my mistake, everyone, was I had the app running in this terminal, but I did the exports in this terminal, and it's only available to the terminal that you're in. Yeah, so that was my fault.
Cool. So is that working now?
I was too nervous to try it. Okay, as you're ready. 7. Sajal has 7. Okay, let's try it. Send request. 500. Oh, it's still not picking up one of the things.
So yeah, because right, go back to the index.json. Yep, and then in your here, let me try to do it actually.
Actually, I could do a console log here on one of the non-secure ones. So let me pick region. That isn't private. So if people see that, that's not a problem. Let me just do a console log and see if it is being loaded as well. So
yeah, try that.
Let me know
when you've run that, and then I'm gonna. There's a different sort of syntax you use for the env variables. We put them in square boys in quotes, but try that and then see if that does it.
Doesn't look like it worked. No, it broke before then, which is quite interesting.
So let's do this. Then.
Oh, I know why it broke before. Sorry, 1 second. It's because I ran it after the client gets called. So let me run it right at the beginning before anything.
Right, let me just undo those.
Happens.
Oh, I'm undoing your changes. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Oh no, it's okay. Undo it. Undo, and I've got it in my clipboard, so it's fine.
All right, sweet. There you go.
Okay, cool. And I can always do this trick where I do Option and up, and it moves this line up as well too, so I don't even have to cut and paste it. Okay, so let's see. I'm feeling more confident now because I moved it after the line, which makes sense. So it still breaks. It's fine. Undefined. So no, it's not coming through.
Okay, cool.
You're right.
So I think it is this notation we need to put on, which I've not seen before personally until.
But the square brackets, I think, are the same. I think it's the same as dots. Yeah, it's just if you want it as. If it's more dynamic, then you need to put it in square brackets, and you can put a variable in there. But otherwise, it'd be the same. But we can try it. Let's see. We're all learning. Yeah. Let's have a look. I'm not using. VJ, I'm not using the env file anymore. I'm actually doing it in the. I wonder if I can show you Wait a second, if I can show you safely, I'm just conscious of my things. But let's just quickly try this and see. I think we're going to have the same issue. Oh no, it worked. You're right. That made a difference. How has that made a difference? I am shocked. I need to figure out why that made a difference.
It's a Vite thing, I guess.
I would not have thought that would have made a difference. Okay, interesting. Always learning. So we have Koalia created. So that's great. So now if we go to the get, in theory, we should have Koalia come back. And just to prove to you that in the get, there's nothing hard-coded. And it's going to look a bit weird. Bear with us. We're going to do some 200. And you can see Koalia is here. But what if I make this, can I make this full screen for a moment? What you notice is a bit wrong. It's coming back as an object with the key is the ID of the user. And we don't want that for our API. So what I'm going to do is do a little bit of mapping. So we're going to do on the get, what we need to do is we need to get the object, is it object keys? I can't remember now, object keys out of developers. And then we want, oh, okay, Copilot, thank you very much. Map, and we want to, that will be the key, that's correct. Let's see how good it is. Return, okay, that didn't work very well. Return, and we'll want to return the object, and we'll want the ID to be the key. And then underneath that, we'll want to spread developers key. Okay, brilliant. Thank you very much, Copilot. Am I missing a bracket? Oh yes, I am missing a bracket. There we go. Perfect. So in theory, that should now work. So if I do the get again, it will be the same data, but it will be a collection rather than objects. So if I go up to the get, do a send, that worked. Now you can see it's now a collection of objects, and it's got the field ID in it with the ID. So that's basically it. Perfect. That's the hard part over, I think. We've now got post and get working on the back end of Svelte. It's still, I didn't realize it had that. It's still blown away. So in theory, if I remove the .json on here, we should see one result.
Yep.
Oh, I put it twice. I posted it twice. My bad. So we see the person twice. That's my fault. So let's just add somebody else. Just get a third person to be different. So I want to go back to the post, and I'm going to delete this, and I'm going to grab somebody else from our link-free project. Who is here? Sajal, have you got a thing here? I think you have. I have seen it. Let's have a look. What's your username? I think you're here. Okay, I'll just pick me. I couldn't find it. There we go. Pick me. Save that and go back to here and paste. I'll click it once, not twice, because it was a bit slow last time, so I hit it and I hit it again. So now, if we go to the UI and refresh it, we should see 3. So yes, Koalia twice and me. And we can get, maybe if we get time, we're quite short on time there, but we could do a delete button. But okay, perfect. So that's working. Okay, so what next? What do you want to do next, Scott?
So we've got our list. So do we want to do like get one? Have we done that already, or
we haven't done get one? Can we do a create form? Can we do? I think forms are quite interesting.
Yeah, actually, yeah. So yeah, let's just put in the form so we can start adding stuff, and then once we can add stuff to it, then we could do like another dynamic route for each one of them. So you can click on that, and it'll go to. They'd have their own page.
Awesome.
So form.
Let me follow you as well, so we can see what you're up to. Let's do a form.
I've got to make a form. Oh, Eddie, don't do this to me.
Rather you than me. The pressure.
Right. Where's my cursor? Form. And so the action is we're going to want to have. We don't want the action here because. We're going to want to have like on submit, I'd say.
And these are really powerful. The on clicks, the on submits. I think in Svelte is what I really liked. This is going to be quite interesting.
Well, where we submit it, let's just say submit to DB, and then in here we'll just do a function submit to DB, and then that will be, what would it be? We're going to have to do a post to the developers.json. Oh,
okay. I use Copilot to auto-complete this for me because I never remember.
no, oh god. Right, so we'll just leave it empty for now. So
Yeah, do a console
we'll
log
submit,
to begin with. It's fine.
and then was it prevent default? Prevent default. Can I do that? And we're going to take data, I guess, and then we need the data coming in. And then in here, input, text name. Oh, look, thank you, Copilot.
Is it double
so
brackets or single brackets though?
Where?
On the value.
I'm going to say it's single.
I thought it because you put double. You got double there, but I thought for Svelte it's single.
I'm going to blame Copilot.
Yeah, I think so.
So we've got input type, and then we'll have a submit. Yeah. Let's get rid of these. And
what does everyone think of Svelte? Sorry, Scott, carry on.
Prettier. No, carry on.
I'll write it in the chat. What do you think of Svelte?
What are we adding? What are we adding to post? Oh, it's just going to come off the form object body, isn't it? What does the data look like, Eddie?
Yes, I've forgotten already. I think we just want to do the whole. We won't do the whole thing. We'll keep it simple. Let's do name and bio and avatar for now.
So this isn't. Oh, it's going to be in the form data, isn't it? Let's go to that Dharma's post and see what he says about it. Name, bio, and what was it? Sorry.
Avatar.
And it's going to be text. So we need to have the data going into this from somewhere. So we combined, right, make some variables, Scott.
No worries. This is live coding is always really, really hard. It's part of the fun.
Let's have that as empty to begin with. And same with bio. Oh, empty.
I'm going to share your YouTube link in the chat as well. So everyone don't forget, subscribe to Scott. Sub.
And I've recently done a SvelteKit crash course as well. Would you believe it?
But live is so much harder.
I didn't do forms, so the value is going to be is it bind? We want to bind the value to the variable. Let's see, is it bind? Int bind. Hang on, I've totally forgotten how to svelte.
How to svelte? That's quite funny. The way I did it was I had these set up here like this, and I don't know if this is the correct way. Yeah, I did bind : value and then the value itself.
That's it. I wasn't sure if it was like bind. Why is it not? Yeah.
So value equals and then curly brace and then the name of the variable is what I did for my little play this morning from their quick start docs.
Yep.
Forms are always a pain though. I don't know. I always find it a pain.
Right, and paste for the win. Avatar. Now these values are bound to what we've got up here. Should we? We want the data. We want form data. Where's that Dharma's post?
Do we need
think we
form
could
data? Have we not? Can you not just access these directly, or is that not the right way to do it?
Yes, you can, and we could do that, but I wanted to check out that post from Dana on how to do
Let me
that.
have a look.
Um,
Where has it gone? This one.
yeah, so this is fun for everyone to watch us.
But it shows that it's real. I love it when people see some of my videos and go, "Oh wow, you built, I don't know, a linked tree clone in 10 minutes." It's like, no, I didn't. It took me like 2 days. You've seen the best 10 minutes.
Yeah. So that SvelteKit course took me it took me a week to record it, and then like 2 days to
Wow.
edit it down. So yeah, it's
It's a lot of work.
and a lot of it was just me looking at documentation.
Yeah, I bet.
So what am I looking for here?
So it
Bodies.
says get form body, and then you can do body.entries. You have to do
That's
a
it.
reduce though.
So where does the body get passed in from the form though? That's what.
I see what you mean. Let me scroll down and see. Prevent default, like you said, handle submit, and where has the other thing gone?
So const body get form bodies request body. It's a bit lacking on.
Is it
Here
not?
it is.
It seems to like it make it so much more complicated though. What benefit does it add?
So I don't think we'll be using the post method here because we are. Yeah, he's doing it there. Okay, so. We try that because I can't see where the form body data is coming from.
Well, for simple now, we can just use those variables directly. I don't think we need anything, special. I'm just looking on my keyboard for the wave hand. Where is the waving hand? So I can wave to someone. 1 second in the chat. I can just wave here. Hi, Aditya.
So I mean that should come from the form then, Eddie. If you're just do a submit now, what does that do? Sorry, you're live
No worries. No, it's okay. Sorry, I missed that. What we're doing. Carl, great news. We'll chat afterwards. I can't wait to hear more details about your call.
Wow, awesome! Congratulations, Carl.
Okay, so what was I doing? Sorry. Do you want me to submit it?
Yeah, just to submit it. Yeah.
Okay,
See
so we've
what
got
we
a
get.
form. Okay, so we're going to have AAA, BBB, CCC. Submit.
CCC. There we go. Right. So I guess we want the event, don't we, rather than just the whole thing.
You will want.
Could you bump up the
Oh, sure.
the zoom a bit, please?
Yeah, my bad. Good point. It's a bit bigger.
Yeah, so we get a submit event, and
This is quite big. Let me close this. Don't think we need that. Target, submitter, timestamp, type.
do we want the event.targeting and the values from that?
I cheated. I do this. I did name. I did like this. I'll show you what I did. When I was playing this morning, I did name, bio, and avatar, and it grabs it that way.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure.
yeah.
DDD. I do DDD instead of CCC this time. Hit submit, and I grabbed it there. That's all I did. I don't know if there's a fancier way to do it. Maybe if you want more to do validation and all that sort of stuff.
Let's just go with that for now. I mean, that's just taking it directly from the variable, though, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
But just in the interest of time and
sure,
just to get something going, rather than.
Okay.
You know what? I bought a book on SvelteKit forms, which I still haven't read, and now I've written it.
Oh, that's on the wrong side. I should be async there. So you want to do something like this? Is that correct? Like a fetch. We want to go to developers JSON. We want it to be a post.
Post, yeah.
We want the want this thing out of the way. Content type. Is it capitals? I'm sure it's content type. Content type, there we go. And then we probably want body. And I don't know if we need to stringify it. We probably do, right?
Yeah, I'd say.
JSON stringify. And then here we could go name, oops, bio, and avatar.
And you're missing a curly boy off the end of the. Oh no, you're not.
I'm missing something. I am. You're right. I am missing something.
All right. There
we go.
Is that it?
I got one too many, I think. Oh no, stringify goes there. Okay, they're in the wrong order. There we go. That goes there. Perfect. And so that needs to be an await. And we can also return I suppose we can return the data later. We can refresh the page, but later on we can add it to the list to make it a bit nicer.
Message to say submitted or something. Yeah.
Yeah. So we could do, I don't know. It's probably going to be res.json, and then we can just do a console log, I suppose. Data. Okay, so let's see if that works. So refresh. So you've got 2 people. We should have a 4th person. So this will say, we'll say Scott. And what was the second one? I forget now. Second one was bio. Scott, Svelte developer, and then avatar. So I could do. What's your GitHub, by the way?
Spence S10.
It's the same. Okay, so Spence. Oops. Spence
S10. Yep.
Perfect. That works. Okay, so we can put that .png, and that will turn into an image. Submit. Oh, we got a
TIO.
500. Okay, let's have a look. So we should be able to see something in the undefined. So data didn't come through. So let's just double check. So in the post, do we still have a console log here? I thought we removed it.
That's.
Oh, that's from here. It must be an old one. No, that must be an old one. So let me see if we just, it's reloaded now. Let's just send it again. Scott, Svelte developer, I paste .png, I'll copy that for next time. There you go, 500. There's no error in the console, okay. So why have we got a 500? So what we should probably do is wrap it in a try catch, and then we can see things a bit better. So let's have a look, try. Catch, and just console log it. Oh, I didn't format that for me. That's interesting.
Yeah. Why are you like this, prettier?
Yeah, it's not liking me today. Let's have a look. Okay. So I'm just going to do rubbish for now. It's quicker. You got an empty object.
That was there before, I think.
Oh, was it?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. Why would the post... So what's the difference between this post and my post that I do here? 3,000 developers.json. We're on the same app, so don't need the 3,000 developers.json.
So
the get works.
Our index.json, what's coming through for in the index.json.js into the post function? What do we have coming into that?
Should we do a console log in here and have a look?
Yeah, I was thinking that, yeah.
Let's have a look and see. See, that format's okay. I don't know why the other one isn't. Okay,
let's
try
so we're
again.
getting data off the request.body. Right, cool.
Let's have a look. Well, the data is coming through. Okay, perfect. So that looks good. This data did come through. So it should create it. On the return, we should get the error. So let me just have a look on here. Let me make this a bit smaller so I can see it. We get a 500, or just it comes over an empty object. So that is coming back empty, which is strange. Let me create. Go on, sorry.
I was just thinking. So the try is working if it's not getting to the error, right? So it's just adding
The try is failing because we're getting a 500 back, but the error is empty.
Oh.
Which is strange. So if I refresh this, I don't think we're going to have any more extra people. No, so it isn't being created via the form, but the data is coming in correctly. So that looked correct. If I go back here, we had name, bio, and avatar, which was similar to what we had here. Name, bio, and avatar. Links is empty, but that's fine.
Yeah.
Oops, where have I gone? So that all looks fine. That create obviously fails, and it's not clear why. I don't know why the error comes back empty. Let me just test this one again. So let me grab somebody else, and I just want to check we haven't changed anything and caused it to break without even realizing. So let me just grab one more person. Who have we got in the chat? Maybe I can grab them. If not, we'll just grab Krish. Krish won't mind. And grab that. Change it here, paste. If I send the request, yes, so it did get created. It got 200. It looks good. So if I refresh this page, we should have a fourth person, which we do. So we know the API is still working. That's what I wanted to check. I wanted to make sure that, we hadn't changed something without realizing and broken it. So this does work. And if I go to the logs here, we can see the difference. So this failed and this worked. Why would that be the case? It wouldn't be because of links. And we can put empty links in there and to see if that's the case, but I doubt that it is because we're using the SDK. It's non-structured data, so we haven't defined the structure so it'll be flexible. So
okay, so there's no validation on it on the
nothing
server.
at all. No, you can throw anything you want at it, which makes it less efficient, but it gives you the most flexibility. So.
Yeah.
Interesting though. Oh, I know why. Look how that's printed. Look how that's printed. How come that's green and that's not green?
So is it the?
Is it because we need to change the? Yeah, it's coming back as a. We need to say JSON pass to pass it back. Yeah, I think that's the issue. It's coming through as a string, and we're not doing that. Okay, if I hit save, I'm feeling confident now. Everyone out of 10, what are you thinking in the chat? I don't want to do this one for real because
for realsies.
I think it's going to work. Yeah, I think it's going to work. Oh, I've lost your thing. Damn it. GitHub, Spence.
It's in history there.
Oh, is it? Oh, yeah,
it's in history.
Perfect, thank you. I'm going to keep it open just in case. Oh, it's in the history on the form as well. Okay, submit. This is the one. Yes.
Woo!
No, that doesn't look right.
It's put everything into its own.
Yeah. Okay, let's refresh this and see how bad it is. Oh no, it saved it correctly. The console log was wrong. Okay, interesting.
Right, yeah. Sweet.
So the one on the console log. So it wasn't this console log because that would be on the terminal, and that looks all right. So I'm going to delete that console log. The console log must have been from here. It was this one that was wrong. Interesting.
But that one. That was looking at the error.
I don't know why that one comes back weirdly on the create.
So do we need to do any of the not the JSON stringifying, the JSON parts? Do we need to bother with that now?
I think so because we stringified it on the. Does Fetch do it? I don't think Fetch does it. I'm pretty sure we have to do it. And then on the API, we then have to do the opposite and bring it back. I don't think there's a middleware that does it for us like you get on Express. I'm completely guessing. So Shajal is still here and still awake. Thank you so much. I know it's late where you are as well, so I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for...
I have a feeling this might not be needed, but I always thought it was needed on Fetch. Because for this to get every letter was very strange. Let's create one more. So let's do one more and try and see. So if we do Sajal, oh, missed the L. And if we say developer and what's your GitHub username? Oh, otherwise it will break the image. Let me know what your GitHub username is in the chat. And then trying to think, why would that display every single one as a console log? Very, very strange. Because just JSON wouldn't do that. Oh, thank you.
Let's take a look at the object again.
Which object? Sorry.
The garbled mess that got printed out on the browser.
Yeah, I'm about to do that now. I just need to.
Oh, it's gone. It's gone anyway.
It's gone. Yes, I'm going to do another one. So I'm going to add another user.
Right, I'm just going to get some water.
No worries. And then, okay, here we go. Let's grab your URL. Must remember not to clear it this time so we can see the error. So this is what it looks like. So this definitely looks wrong. It's grabbing each part of the JSON and putting it into its own. Okay.
Yeah, it's like it's doing. It's like it's putting it all into. Like
and I've seen that before.
Each item in there.
Yeah, I can't remember how and why. I'm going to remove. I don't think it's this. We've got one of the stringifies wrong. I don't know which one it is, but it can't be the API one because that works via the request as well. Although now maybe we've broken it. Actually, let me check. let me check because we could have broken it because we haven't tested it by here. So I'm just going to grab someone else. Let's grab Rohan. And let's just check this. Paste. If I do a send request, yeah, okay, so we have broken something because now that hasn't worked.
Well, that's the JSON parse, wasn't it?
Yeah. So I'm thinking maybe Svelte is being really smart. We don't need the parse and we don't need the stringify, potentially. So let's try it without and see. I think maybe it was overcomplicating it. So if I save that, this should work. So we get 200, it's created. If we do a refresh on this page, we will see the extra people we've added. Okay, perfect. So now if I add a test one, let's have a look. I'll just say test, test, and test. Oh no, it doesn't work. Yeah. Which is not good. Interesting.
It must be the way. Francisco.
Hey, Francisco. How you doing? Good to have you here, Francesco. 4 C's. Yeah, Francesco, explain the 4 C's in the chat for people while we're trying to debug this.
Right. So, you did a post without the. So I'm thinking about index.json.js. We took off the JSON parse from there. We submitted a request, and that was fine. So it's definitely what's coming from the form, right? Must be.
Was it fine from here? I forget now. Yeah, it was fine from here. You're right, it was. Let me just triple check that just so I'm not going crazy. Let me pick somebody else and let me just double check that and see. But I think it was right, therefore the form is probably wrong. Let's check. So what we've got here is we've got no pass on the API. So let me submit that and it works. Okay, perfect. So if I refresh this again, yes, it worked. Okay.
So is there anything in the is there anything in the data from the request coming in from the form? I've lost the stream now. Oh, here it is. So we tested that earlier, didn't we? And we are getting data from the form.
We are, yes. The other thing I could think of doing, though, sorry to interrupt, I was going to do one last test and to see, we can see in here what is being posted in the headers. So object, right.
Nice.
So it's what's being posted from the form, so you are correct. Something is not right here. But stringifying it didn't fix it.
No. So I'm just looking at someone else's post on this now. So we can use a handle submit, prevent default, unsubmit for the form. Going through. So I'll just go to what I'm actually reading. I'll put it in the chat, wherever that is, for Eddie. And then on here, I think for read-only form data. And
so let me bring it up on the screen, see what you're looking at. Oops.
So request.body get. So on our request.body for what we're submitting to the endpoint, we're not using a get, are we? We're just
Sorry
using
for... We're doing a post for
on.
this to save the data.
Yeah. So in the developers endpoint, the developers endpoint
Yeah.
index.json, the what we're getting off the body. Where is that? I'm looking at a totally wrong file. So post request. We're just getting a request.body. Should we try request.body.get and then each one of the variables off of that? So did we log out the data before? We did, didn't we? And
We
got,
did, yes. It was coming through as a string though, which is why it wasn't saving.
yeah.
But we were sending it from the form as a string.
So what we got, name equals not data name. Request.body.get .body.get. And what have we got in here? We've got it in.
Oh, is that how you do it? Does it do some magic?
Well, I'm just reading it off of a post, and I've seen the same sort of syntax before.
Okay.
So if we just try it, log out the name.
I mean, it is better, just so everyone watching, it is better not to post the entire body to your database. You do need to pull out the items you want, because people might send extra rubbish, and obviously sanitize it and check it and all the rest. Okay, let's have a go at that. Let's have a go. So you've got console and name. Let's do it. So let's go AA and hit submit. That did not work. Get is not a function. Let me just, I'm just going to change this slightly and do rec.body, and let's just see. I want to see what's on that again as well. So let's have a look. Object, this is the issue. Why is it object? So we could do...
Just put it into some curly boys. Put some curly boys around that, and then see what you get.
Will that work?
Well, I should just part.
What do you mean by curly?
Yeah, the curly braces around either side, so it'll read it as an object then. It's got a squiggly line, so it looks like
because you need to put a property like that, but then we want there's another one. There's a trace or whatever you can do. What is the other What is the other console log that is really useful that I rarely use? It dir, where it goes further down. I think it's that one. Let me check. I can't remember. I don't use it often enough, but I should. Which one is it? Where you can say, I forget now, and you can pass in, oh yeah, here we go, depth null, so it'll keep going further and further down. That should be the one.
All right. TIL. I've been learning loads of stuff here.
No, I don't know. It's not working so good at the moment. Why would it do that? This is really stupid to test this now, but body is not defined. Interest. It should be a string. That's why. Because it's a name. My bad. It's not. Still object. Okay. Was it a trace or something? There's another one. So you've got dir, you've got info, you've got log. There is table, but table's not going to help us. Okay.
I thought it was that because you can do the request.body.get. Is it in usernames?
I want to do one last thing while you're doing a bit of research. Oh yes, thank you, Francesco. It's just to stringify the object and we can see it. Oh, genius. Love it. And we can just see what it is. Francesco, thank you so much. And I can remove that off the end. There we go. Perfect. Oh, let me make these actually different. What? That console log coming from somewhere else?
Probably. I'll put loads in there now. Sorry.
No, but that's weird. Why is it doing object, object? Oh, I know why. It's because what's being sent from the form is an object, object. That's why. Oh, we're trying to find out why it's why the API is not displaying it, but the API is displaying it correctly. It's this it's incorrect. But when we stringify it, it doesn't like it. So, 'cause it's getting sent correctly if we stringify it, but I just don't feel that that's correct. Let's do it one more time. Maybe we did something wrong last time. So, see, it's escaping it, right? Because we've got the stringify in it in the API now. I think we can remove this. And this will look all right, but I still don't think it will be correct. Let's see. So that's coming through as a string. So in theory, we would need to pass it, but then we can't continue to use this is the only issue, because I don't know why one is working, one isn't. I've never had that issue before. So it's obviously something we're missing. Because we could do that, but then I've never had an issue where where it would break the request file, if that makes sense. So we could do that. So I could go JSON, pass, and it will look correct now. But now I think I'm just going to comment out the create, just so we don't create lots of like rubbish data in the database. So let me just do it again. Submit. And that looks so now that's correct. So what we're getting displayed is good and it's correct. But if I post this now, I have a feeling it won't be correct. See, we get a 500 and break that, which I think is wrong.
So it's how we're submitting the form data, isn't it? So,
but for the sake of time, as we've been going for like 2 hours, and I'm conscious of both our times, I want to ignore the request, I think, and we keep it like this. So let's do it like this so we can get it working, and then it's something that we'll look into. I'll have a look into it afterwards. So we can do that.
It's the form body data, and I do sincerely apologise for not knowing enough about it at the moment.
No worries.
I thought to grab the properties off of the request object, you could just use get.
Mohammed is eagle eyes and spots everything. So I'm pretty sure that he spotted something. And is it because this should be quoted? I'm pretty sure Mohammed is right. Yes, I think that's going to be it. Maybe not for the first one. That I think is correct. Right, let me just check that and see. Mohammed always fixes everything of mine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to comment that out just so we can see what it looks like and put the console log back in. I think that's going to work. Rec.body. Now thinking about it, I'm pretty sure that's going to work. And then we do it right. So we've got it. So with the pass, it works with the form. It didn't work in the request, but this will work now. Yeah, it was. Oh, one second. Let me check the console. Oh no, it's still done that. That's odd.
It's the form. Oh no,
I don't know. I think the form is okay, in fact, because I'm not sure. I mean, for the form request needs the header type. Oh, did I not put that in on the form request? Oh, content type's wrong. It auto-completed wrong. It should be that.
Thanks GitHub Copilot. Being quotes here.
Let me go back to singles just to be consistent. I've always used GitHub Copilot for that, so I've never had an issue. So in that case, then let's see if we need the string. So that's coming through now as a string. So therefore, I'm guessing we don't need to do the stringify, and we don't need to do the. Oh no, it is. We need to do the pass. So JSON dot pass, and then that will work for this. Let's have a look and see. Okay, and if I go back to here, so that has worked for that. And then I'm interested to see if I put it on the request, this should also work, because both should work. No, you still get a 500 on that. I don't know why. We will have to live with it for now. I bet it's something really, really silly. Okay, so we will do that for now. So let me comment that out, bring that back in, and save that. So this form works, and we can check it one last time. So we will say, Peter's here. Hey Peter, how you doing? Peter's from DataStax's. Everyone say hi to Peter. Yes, GitHub Copilot fail, definitely. I'm gonna add Peter. Peter is from DataStax's. Let's see if this works. And Peter's GitHub, I'm not sure of your GitHub name, but we will just write Peter. And let's see if we do submit. Okay, so we've changed quite a few things. Let's check the console log and see. Oh, it didn't make it. Why did it not make it? I think it was maybe, let's see.
Didn't make it. Was there no error then?
No, there was no error, no. There is an error in here. So what did it say got posted? 500, and we posted, it went through correctly, it looks correct, because the source should be a string, but as a pass version it should be object. And back we got nothing. I think I saved the file in the API. Let's have a look and see. Oh, there was no console log, so I was expecting to see a console log, so my bad. I was looking for a console log, and we can see what it is. And the console log has the pass, and so what we'll send to DataStax's has a pass as well. So we can just check that's the case. That looks like an object, which is correct, which is what we want. So we're passing it and we're sending it on the create. So that looks good. So I'm confident that that should work, but it doesn't. Why is that the case? Let's have a look. What else do we use Copilot for and just take for granted and go, yeah, that's correct. It's interesting because the result doesn't always, it changes from Copilot. So when I did a fetch earlier today to practice this, I did a Copilot and it all worked. And so I was like, oh, it works, do Copilot again, but realizing that, yes, I should to check it and see. But that's quite interesting. Everyone's saying hi to Peter, awesome. Love everyone giving Peter a warm welcome as well. And it gives us time to have a look and fix this. So just to recap, we've got data coming out, but we wanted data going in via Svelte. So we've got data going in via the request example we had, but not via Svelte. So we just need to see why that's the case. But that looks good to me, because that would be an object, which is what we would pass in. So if I bring up the DataStax's docs again, and it's what I use all the time, on the create, we just pass in an object and we're good, and it generates the ID for us. So we can check that no new ones have been created, none of the test ones. We haven't got like AAA, BBB and so forth. Oh, there is one there, tell a lie. I wonder when that happened. So there is one test one there as well. So, oh, and Peter did go through, so no, it did work. Interesting. We got a 500 back, but the data is going in. Let's make these images a bit smaller, so therefore it takes up less on the page. Can we do that?
Yeah,
we could just put a width, right? We could do a width of like, I don't know, 50. Let's have a look. There we go. Okay. So we should probably do some real data, so therefore we get some images. But, okay. Test one. I'm going to number them so we know in order. I love Francesco's comment. GitHub Copilot failed, which is awesome. I love GitHub Copilot. But it failed, so we can keep our jobs for a few years yet. So if we can go test one name, and then we can go test one. This was bio, and then we can do test one avatar, which is obviously not a real avatar. If hit submit, we do get a 500 back, but is the data added? Because the 500 might be coming from somewhere else. Let's check. It did get added. So no, so it is getting created. So the 500 is interesting. So this works, and then we're getting a 500 from somewhere else. So I have a feeling, is a capital I, so I might be trying to, let's console log the response that we get back. And it might be something as silly as that. So let's try that again. So this is going to be test2 name, test2 bio, test2 avatar. Hit submit. What do we get on the console log? Document ID, and that's what I wrote. So I think that looks correct. So what I do is get response. I spelled that right, didn't I? Document ID. Oh, I know what it is. We stopped using data. It should be request body.
Request body, yeah.
That's going to be interesting why it didn't say what the error was, but that is probably going to fix it now. Okay, I'm fully confident. Right, out of 10, everyone, what do we think? Is this going to work? Are we going to actually have a create that is correct? Let's see. What test number are we on now? I've forgotten. Must be on 3?
3.
Probably. Okay, so the first one was name, test3 bio, test3 avatar. Submit. Okay, it kind of worked because we got 200 back, but we did get this whole, it being split out again. So you can see the data went incorrectly. We got a document ID, so it got created on DataStax's. But interesting enough, do we need to pass it again? Could that be the issue? I assumed it would, well, it did it itself. With the get, right, it did it automatically. We didn't need to do that. So actually, no, I don't think we need to do a pass. What do you think, Scott? Because
we've done so much parsing and stringifying, and then we've gone, what's the stages, denial, acceptance, and I think we've just gone back round to doubting it again, haven't we? So
yeah. I'm going to go on. Sorry.
No, it's fine.
I need to have a rubber play with this later on and to see. I have a feeling we don't need to do it because on this body, when we returned it for the get and the find, we didn't stringify it and it works fine. And so I'm guessing for this one, we don't need to either. But something here is throwing an exception, which is causing this to happen. And it's interesting, it's not. I might be naughty and remove the try catch and see if it actually gets displayed to us, because it's weird that we're not seeing it.
Yeah.
We're also on test 4 now, right? Test 4. Name, test 4, bio, test 4, avatar. Submit.
Cahill, he said, Kira's just come back from dinner. He said, we're still going at it. Yeah, sorry.
Oh, Carl, how you doing? Yeah, we're still going. We're almost there. We've got the create working, but the response back, if I show you here, it's splitting out every item in the JSON string in the response. And I cannot understand why it would do that. So that is kind of bugging me, because what we can do now is we can refresh the page and see these items being added. So we've got 4 down here. But what I would like to do is get the response from the API request and automatically add it to the list. So therefore, for example, in the Svelte file, what I would like to do is here, rather than just console log the data, what I'd like to do is add it to the, where is it? To the whole list of data, therefore it's automatically get added. But yes, interesting why it's doing that. So we will have to see. Oh, wait a second. Mohammed has come back with some more. Pass the body before using the spread operator, line 44. Is that in the API part? Let's have a look. I'm still so shocked that SvelteKit has a backend, a bit like Next.js built into it. I was so surprised with that. That's pretty cool. Although it's giving us some problems now, but we don't know where the problem is. But let's see. So on 44, so here, Mohammed's saying pass the body before using the spread. Oh, you think this is coming back as a string? But I think it's okay because here it looks... Yeah, Mohammed's
Yeah,
right.
we're looking at it before.
10 out of 10.
Yeah.
This is why when I change when we or whoever changed it from data, we shouldn't have done, because we can do it in one place and it fixes it everywhere. So yes, told you Mohammed's got eagle eyes. So in here, if we just do data, right? Okay, and then here we can do data. Thank you, Mohammed saved the day, and this is going to be data. Right, I think that is good. This is like 11 out of 10 going to work. Pretty sure. How confident is everyone? Scott, what do you reckon out of 10? What do you think?
I'd say, yeah, 11, definitely.
11.
Defo.
Awesome. Okay. By the way, everyone, these errors are because of the avatars, and I just used fake avatars, so that's why you've got those errors there. So let's have a look. So this must be test 5, I think. Test 5 name, test 5 bio, test 5 avatar. This is going to work. You're going to see it. Yes, it worked. Okay, so 200, no error, and it's working. Thank you so much, everyone, for helping, and Mohammed for fixing it.
Thank you,
yes,
really
we had
that.
passed it only in when we were sending it, but not when we were reusing it.
Yeah.
Damn it, looking in the wrong place. Okay. So it's working. We've got it working. It looks good. We would have liked to have done some more styling, but we've been going for over 2 hours now, just over 2 hours. I think we might have to leave some styling till later on. But yes.
We can do it again on stream if you want, Eddie. If anyone wants to see it again, then we can do that. Hopefully I could get the form sorted as well, because I know what you said. We're just taking the values from what's in there, but I'm not 100% happy with that. And I think you could just do like if you just put the form to a variable, and then you could just do like form data, and then we could all pick it off of that, and it'd just be like in one place. But I don't have enough experience with it to really know what I'm doing. So sorry about that.
No worries. I'm going to try something. What does everyone think of this? I'm going to try and push on the new data we created onto the existing collection. I'm hoping it displays in should work. Okay, so final test bio, can't spell test, final test bio, and final test avatar. Okay, submit. Data.push is not a function. Could it be because does this? It should have been set. Data should already have a collection.
It's props, right?
Yeah. So it should already have the array we got from the API. So that should be correct. Interesting. Okay. Well, something else we could do. I was gonna say we could. Oh, I know why. Data.push data.
Yeah.
Right, that's not going to work. Okay, so new. The new's not going to work either. Okay, wait a second. New data. There we go. And then that will make sense. I won't be overwriting the variable. While I'm testing this out, Lakshaya, I hope I pronounced your name right, has asked, what is Svelte? It's probably a good thing to go over that again, Scott. For watching us debug for the last 15 minutes. Yes, we have had some fun 15 minutes, but we solved it now, so it's good.
Yeah. So Svelte is a component framework, much like React and Vue, but the one main difference is that Svelte doesn't use a virtual DOM. It's a compiler, so it builds everything into HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and then that gets shipped. It's been around for quite a while. It's been around since 2016. But now with all of the new sort of toys Eddie and I have been playing about with in SvelteKit, it's a lot more versatile, and it's very much like Next.js, but there's no virtual DOM, and it all compiles to vanilla HTML and CSS and JavaScript. So I broke a record there, sorry.
No, it's good. No, it's good. It's people are joining the live stream on and off all the time, so it's really interesting to see. I tried to set it to an empty collection. It doesn't like the data.push, and I'm not sure why. I have to have a look at that and see.
So what we could do is we could try doing a reactive variable. So did you see?
That'd be cool.
So what's the notation? I think it's like $:. So where you've got your new data, I think we have to declare it like where we've got the let variables here, but instead, or maybe it's above it.
Oh, okay. So another Mohammed, I think, spotted the issue. We'll do that in a second, but we've got data up here that we're not being used. So therefore, we were probably using that data because it's in the local scope rather than in the component scope. Yeah. Final test 4. Okay, Mohammed always saving the day as well, so that's awesome. And did I press it? It's gone through, it's worked, there's no error. Has it added it to the list? I don't think it has. We might have to do what you were suggesting. So there's no error this time. Yes, there are errors down here. These are for the missing images, but it didn't get added. Okay, so go on, carry on. So we'll do it your way with the reactive variable.
Yeah, so how do we do the, it's like $:, which in like JavaScript is a label, but it's not used. So that's what it's used for reactive variables, but I've got to get the syntax is so I'm just looking at a Svelte REPL. So yeah, no, it's a $: and then the variable name.
And where does this go? How does this work?
So let me go back over.
If you drive and then I follow you.
I can just drive. Yeah, of course I can. Yeah. So
So I drive for you.
The index.svelte here. So I am thinking. So we've got the data coming in. Was it $:, and where have you got new data? This. How are we going to do it? So I'm thinking.
So I want to append the new data to the existing data. So new data is from the response. It's the data that we want to get appended.
Come on, Scott, think about this. How are we going to... So we've got that coming in as prop. Then we are getting our... See, I want to declare it, but I'm not sure if I can do it in a then, because it's like Svelte syntax. So...
I see, yeah.
I think we could probably do it in like a store and then have the reactive variable in that, but I think that's out of the scope of what we're going to do here.
Yeah, so, if we go into a store, that's going a lot further. Well, actually, maybe you can talk a bit about the store, but we won't actually do it. So what is a store?
Store is like what the name says. You can just use it. So you could use it like context in React, let's say. So you define your store, and then you would define the data that goes into it. And what we could do is have like the anytime the data on that changes, you could use a reactive variable for the data which is coming into our index.svelte here. So anytime that changes, then it would update on the page. But
and then would that be like, is it the equivalent of, like you said, context, but is it also similar to Redux? Or no?
Yeah, because it'd just be like global state.
Yeah.
So you'd have your store, you could put anything in it. And that means that because the like the pages and the components are stateless, let's say, you could just pull that from the store on load, because each like page or component is like we're saying, it's stateless. So we could have it hooked up to that store and then have the reactive part in the store. So when that changes, it'll update the page. But
got you.
I can't really think of a quick example I could show you, because
no problem at all.
Into a lot more myself.
No problem at all. Well, we've got the data coming out of the database all the way. Yes, I put some test files in, so we've got some broken data, and then we've got. I mean, I'm trying to think. Well, next thing we could do, not now, I think we've been going on for long enough, but next thing we could do is put a delete all down the left, and then we could just send a delete very easily with the ID to the API into the database, And so when we click on the delete, we can just delete some of the rubbish items. But we can do that another time. I think people have seen the kind of the reading the list of the data and the writing of it, and how similar it is to Nest.js. I didn't realize how far Svelte had come along since I used it, I don't know, say 2 years ago.
Yeah, it's come on massively since then. Because I think I looked at it a while back as well. And then I think it was Scott Spence, or I was looking around just to check out something else. I think I saw something from Scott Spence, and it's just SvelteKit. I was like, wow, this is something else. And like, especially with the endpoints, just being able to, you know, get anything with a HTTP method was like mind blowing. And when it all clicked for me, I was like, this is awesome. And I was pretty much all in on that since then. But obviously, there's still many gaps in my knowledge about certain parts of it, especially forms. Quite ashamed of that.
No worries. Forms are always painful, I think. Forms are always so painful in every framework.
I think it's just setting it as a variable, and then I think you can use like form data or form body and just get everything from that, and then that just goes off to the endpoint as an object. But yeah, I could have done a better job at prepping, but I didn't. So apologies, everyone.
No problem. Yeah, we'll all go away, have a play.
Quite a lot. Yeah.
And we'll chat in Discord as well.
Absolutely, yeah. So yeah, if anyone's got any questions, hit me up in Discord, and I will be doing my research on the bits which I had absolutely no knowledge of at all. So we'll have some more stuff to look at on that, especially the reactive stuff. That's a big point. And I think if we could do it in a store, then anytime the store changes, then the page could update.
Got you. Cool. Well, I've just sent Scott's YouTube channel in the chat as well, and Scott's Twitter is in the description below. Do go check out Scott. Looking at his, if I bring over his YouTube channel now, you will see it is lots of React stuff. You can see from 4 days ago, an hour crash course, which is cool. So I'm going to go watch that as well. So everyone do go check it out. And we didn't use Express in the end. But we did use DataStax's, and I now have my Svelte live data. So I'm going to go clear that up after the live stream so I can remove all the dummy ones that did get created. So I actually might try and, straight after the live stream now, I might try and put an X next to some of these and just delete some of these out. Because I just need to send the ID to the API and then send it to DataStax's. It's just dead simple. So how we've got the create, we're literally going to have like a delete and then just the ID in there, and that's it, and it will just remove it. So that could be quite interesting. So I might have a play with that now, and therefore I can clean up some of the data in the database.
Sweet.
Scott, thank you so much for joining on the live stream with me and taking us through this. It's really interesting to see the comparison between different it was loads of fun.
I really enjoyed it. Yeah, it was great. It's really interesting to learn about DataStax's and how that all works. That was really cool. And I hope everyone got like the idea of how simple it can be, as long as you don't have to do a form. I mean, to get us started and off the ground, that was super quick. It's just when we started getting into the nitty gritty of how we're going to submit data and stuff like that, where we started to get a bit confused. So partly my fault, and I hope we can sort of make it good another time. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. Thanks.
We'll make a repo. I'll make a repo for it, as Sajal has suggested. I'll tidy it up, make a repo, and then Scott, if you have any suggestions on it, then you can also make some changes and so forth. So we've got a repo. It's not going to be a project that's going to get added loads of features to it, but we can get it to a state where it's a good example for people to do it. And I will be creating a video from the live stream, as in not just chopping out bits. I'll actually re-record it running through what we've done, but I will probably add delete and search as well. So it'd be good for us to get the repo, I guess, in the right state, and I can use that to as the foundation to run through it for my thing. So if you do get time, have a look at the repo and let me know any feedback, any suggestions. I'm going to continue playing on this tomorrow as well.
Awesome.
Pranshu, thank you so much. Thank you everyone for your patience, for watching us. But this is development, right? You know, it doesn't always go smoothly, and you rely on tools which are really helpful, and sometimes you rely on them too much. And, and content type is 2 words, not 1 word. I can't believe I missed that. But yes, relied on Copilot too much. Scott, thank you so much again for taking 2.5 hours to come and join us. I really, really appreciate it.
All right. Thanks, Eddie. Thanks, everyone.
Everyone, we will see you soon. I want to bring up the holding page for a moment. And Scott, I'll say thank you to you in a second if you can hold on for a couple more minutes.
No worries. Thank you.